Hey, Chris.
Hey there. Sorry, I was in the middle of setting up. Right now we're on the cover page, so we're not live or anything.
Okay.
But I can click it
I was
and
gonna go ahead and actually do this on my stage if that works for you.
yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. Okay, but before we yes, let's do it. But let's talk through exactly what we're gonna do before we before we go live.
Okay.
So yeah,
Sure.
yeah. So go ahead and let's do the stage thing, just like in your Discord, right?
Mhm. Yeah. So the stage in my Discord,
Okay.
right? And that way people can watch and I'll stream it from my end. So basically, I'll just be streaming from my end as well to my fans. You won't need to do anything different
Yeah. Okay.
except to join that stage when we that we'll talk on.
Okay.
So you're planning to actually push the cancel button in the middle of the stream?
I think that'd be funny, right?
Okay.
I think what I'm going to start with is like, hey, we're going to play some Space Line, but announcement, we're also canceling it, just kind of like a bit, and then I'll explain a little about why we're canceling it. We're still going to play this game,
Oh, we're
and then
live, Chris.
oh
Josh just told me that we're actually live and people can hear us.
oh they can hear us. Oh,
Yeah.
whoopsie! I don't know why. Okay.
So, but I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoot over to that stage. But yeah. Apparently we're live and broadcasting audio.
Oh yeah, I didn't know we were
So,
broadcasting audio yet. But we do have like a
okay,
splash screen. Sorry, I don't stream very often. A good thing
that's all
we've
right.
been talking mad trash. Not just kidding. Um, right.
So yeah. So what do you think about Ming?
I'm
No.
just kidding. Ming's my friend.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Yeah. No.
so
Is Ming listening to us now?
you
We
might
should.
be.
Okay.
So, anyways,
All right.
spoilers.
All right. All right.
We're gonna cancel this project on the live stream, and then we're gonna
All right.
talk
Well,
about why. But yeah,
let's go
go get
into
your
the let's
stage
go
set
into
up.
the event stage. Yeah, and I'll yeah.
I'm gonna stop my audio for a
All
minute.
right.
Okay. Okay. Bye. All right, hello everyone. Thank you for tolerating our inability to stream correctly. Um,
Yes.
yes, sorry about that. But yes, welcome to this live stream. I'm Chris Ollis. Um,
And I'm Brad Talton.
yeah,
And yeah, thank you for joining us.
yeah. So a couple things. We have Spaceline 2 Leon Strife on BackerKit right now, and BackerKit is Kickstarter alternative, and have this cool thing called Pocketopia. And basically, they're like, hey, check out all these small creator games, pocket-sized games. We're gonna launch a bunch of pocket-sized games. Um,
Yep.
and we jumped on that to see what it would be like, and we made a small, cool, streamlined version of Spaceline, and that's what we'll be playing today.
Yeah. So let's talk about the original Spaceline, because that funded on Kickstarter successfully like about a year ago, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And so this is sort of it's really kind of a spin-off game. It's the same kind of idea, but it's two-player. It's really fast, and it's gosh, what else would you say about it? Like it's multi-lane,
Yeah.
kind
So
of like escalating control points, which I think
yeah.
is also a difference from the original.
Yeah. So yes, it's a lane dueler. Has a cool sci-fi theme, bigger number wins kind of game. I actually think that in Spaceline 2, which I truly found the missing sauce from one, and don't get me wrong, I love one, and one is great. Um,
No, I liked one as well.
Yeah, but like to me, like it's just one of those things where like I've explored this so thoroughly, I know how to escalate it now. And should have I made a sequel within a year? Probably not, but I wanted to, and I do think it's one of my strongest designs, so I did it. Right? So, right?
Yeah, and I got a chance to play this in person with you at Gamma, and I really liked it. I thought it was great design.
Mhm.
So,
So,
so yeah,
and the first one is a big multiplayer like thing, right? It's kind of like
yeah,
Commander, but with sci-fi armies. This one is more streamlined head-to-head turbo
yeah,
strategy game,
yeah.
right?
It's a pocket game. Like you could play this. You could play this on anywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, as a pocket game, and also bonus announcement, we're going to be canceling the campaign after the stream, right?
During the stream,
During
and
the
then
stream.
and I guess talking a little bit about that as well, which
Yeah.
I think is a conversation that doesn't get had very much in our industry and doesn't get had very publicly in our industry.
Yeah.
It's
Because
it's something that literally nobody talks about.
yeah, part of that reason is like, hey, here's my creative work, and no one wants to feel bad about it, right? There are strategic
I
reasons for canceling, and we'll go over that.
Yeah.
Um, but what we'll
Um,
do is we'll visit those points
let's
in
play the game
between
first.
turns here. So we'll teach, and in between we'll talk about it, interlace these two things.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, let's start playing. So we are the game is a mirror match. My army is identical to yours, right?
Mhm.
We have these 3 points, and on these points there is 0 through 5. If you can grab one of these bits and put them on one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, five, we have fire. That's right. Okay. These are places that are experiencing combat,
I
and
want to
you
lock.
must defend them. You're gonna right click lock.
Yeah. Um. All right.
Right. Let's just do that real quick.
And cool. Okay.
Yeah, so they all start at 1 because the combat's already happened, and your army is coming to reinforce these places. And at the end of the round, if you have the most power at these spaces, you'll score victory points, and
hmm
the enemy base will catch more fire and then be worth more victory points.
Okay.
So we're playing over a course of rounds. Um, yeah. So go ahead and pick up this deck, this horizontal one.
Okay.
Should be 7 cards, right?
All right.
Pro tip: press L to lock selected objects. Thank you. um, and
Oh.
Also to make things more difficult, my computer just died this morning, so I had to like speed run setting this up on my laptop. So it's
Oh
even worse.
gosh.
I don't even have a mouse, but L helps. Thank you. All right.
Uh,
So yeah, in our hand we have units 0 through 6. Right. The top corner is their power, and they have various different types of effects. Um,
mhm.
After they fight and win a battle, they can be promoted, and they can go from level 1 to level 2. And this reserve deck over here, if you look in, that's where the level 2 versions are. right? And your units will level up. The way you level up your units, it's different than the way I'm going to level up mine for strategic choices. It's like a tech tree kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
The way you promote your units is critical to the game and what access power you want your army to ultimately have. So,
Right. Okay.
how do you play? Whoever has this cube, not a real cube in the final game, will be a cool lion head. Will be the priority player, and I'll go first. My turn is play one card. Awesome. So I'm going to choose one card. I'm going to do a dummy turn here just to show you before I put these cards back in my hand, right? I
Hmm.
choose one card, and by default, I can play it face down in an area. That's normal play. Then it would be your turn. Alternative
Okay.
things I can do is if it has a lead effect, I think it's
Hmm. Like the
sorry,
marine. Yeah.
there we go. Yeah, the marine. If I play this face up, then I get the lead effect. Um, and the lead effect is like it happens immediately. So by revealing this two to you, I would get two marines, which is two bonus power. Two tokens would go there. So I've chosen to
Hmm.
get 4 power instead of two. That's pretty good at the cost of showing you the number. So why does showing you the number matter?
Hmm.
Again, our armies are identical. They're always 0 through 6. So you know that's where the two is, and you know this is not a two. And that will play into, well, you determining how to use your cards, right?
Got it. Hmm.
Um, Other things you can do. A card might have a base effect. And if you have a base effect like this, that you can put it down here in the back row, and instead of participating in a battle, you get to do that base effect. So this unit has decided to stay home and help from a distance. So if I played this hacker back here, I can reveal a face down card. I traded 1 power for intel, right?
Hmm.
And
Right.
finally, regardless of a card being face up or face down, when they finally fight at the end of the round, then these battle effects will happen. Your battle effects happen, my battle effects happen, and then we'll determine winner. So my battle effect being hidden is pretty good, so then you can't see it coming, um,
Hmm.
right? But maybe I got a lead effect and a battle effect at the same time, yada yada, right?
Right.
So let's play our hand, and then I'll explain a little more about how battle actually happens and how we promote. But right now we are in the planning phase where we will play our entire hand. Um,
Okay.
and I'll start. And I'll start by, what do you know, Mr. Marine. So I lead here. He has 2 power. I get 2 friends,
Okay.
right?
Cool. All right. And I'll do a face down play in the same area.
Rad. So I know that's 0 through 6. That's all I know. All right.
Hmm.
Um, I'm going to play a mystery card here.
Okay. Cool. I will play another card here.
Rad. Okay. It's a lot there, and I really don't know what's happening. So I'm gonna play my base effect. And I'm gonna choose one of these to flip, and we're gonna flip this one. All right. So now I know your 4 is there, and I can.
Hmm.
All right.
All right.
Uh,
Cool. And oh yeah, and how do you get a character into your upgrade area? I think I missed that part when we were
Yeah.
talking earlier.
So to get it in, there's 2 ways. The normal way is win a fight, then the card goes to your upgrade zone. At the end of the round, um, they promote. So we're going to do this whole round without the cards won't change until then. However, if you look at your worker, the worker can promote units even if they didn't win. Um,
I see.
yeah,
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I will do this. Put my mech here, and I guess I'll gain a charge, which won't be useful now, but it'll be useful in a future run.
yeah. Sorry, I'm going to turn off this interface here on my.
All right. Cool. And I got your screen open on the other side so that I can screen look and see where all your units are going down. This is super handy that you're streaming and not me. Uh, I'm
Rad.
just kidding. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that to you.
I thought about doing that to my friend. It'd be so funny if I got the super read on him, but I decided not to. How? Right? Uh,
Oh.
so I'm going to play another mystery card over here and reinforce this
Okay.
area.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, let's do. I think I'll do this, and I'll deploy 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so
Marines.
that guy deploys 3 Marine tokens any way in any configuration you want. So basically, you're getting the 3 power and splitting it up. Um, and
Hmm.
the Marines are indeed units that will matter later. So you got a little more units there, 4 versus 3 here. I'm
Hmm.
going. Oh, I see you got your charge counter. I'm also gonna get my charge counter by revealing my
Okay.
5. What does the charge counter do? Later, this card will spend to do cool things.
All right. Cool. I will go ahead and do. I'll go ahead and do this here. All right.
I feel like I'm gonna get absolutely swept, but let's see. I'm going to do this.
Is it possible for me to win all 3 lanes? I don't think it is.
It's extremely difficult. It's pretty unlikely, but it's
Because we
technically
have the same
possible.
numbers. Like you'd have to bench a lot of people for me to actually win all 3 lanes.
I would have to play poorly and be red. Um, in the later rounds, it becomes slightly more likely because you can begin to destroy each other's cards. But in the
Hmm.
first round, it's nearly impossible.
Okay. Let's see.
But of course, because I said that, it's going to happen now, right? So
I don't know about that. I am gonna go ahead and look at the card that you just played. Okay, got it. Cool. All right.
you have one left, and then
And you
yeah.
have
So
priority play,
so this is
so
a little strategy point. Like, I can see that you know where my 6 is. Do I reinforce this, knowing you can possibly just beat it now that you know that, right? You also know this is not a 5, right?
yeah.
So you know the maximum power there, and maybe you can just choose to win.
Well,
So
I'd presume the card left in your hand is your 3 because the 3 will almost always play to the base. So then one of these is your 4 and one of these is your 0, and that's the calculus I have to make.
that's right, and I'm gonna do this. Be
Okay.
and the reason I do this, try to mess you up a little bit. But now this is a 7. You can't beat that with one card,
Right.
right?
Yep. And so I think I will. Yeah. So I've got 7 here. We've got 7 here, so we're gonna push. If this is your 0, we're gonna push. And if this is your 4, then this is your 0, and I'm gonna win this lane. So so in that case, I think what I will do is I'll go ahead and take the sure win over here, um, right, and get these. All right.
Okay, rad. So we've deployed. Now we go to battle, and starting with the cube player, which is me, I choose which battle will happen first, and then you choose the
Hmm.
second and the third. It won't matter too much on this round of play, but later it can get bonkers. So we'll
Hmm.
do this one here, right?
Okay.
I have a battle effect. If you have more
Okay.
units than me here, I get +1 strength,
All right.
which
Where,
I don't, so I don't get the strength bonus. And
but
then
you got 11 to 7.
I have 11 to 7. So I win this one. I will get
Hmm.
a comically large metal token.
And
Uh,
I'll my base will catch further on fire.
so next time I win there, it is worth 2 points, right?
Mhm.
And then the Marine dies. I choose one of these guys to go to promote zone. So I'm gonna send the 6 over, and then the other cards go to base. So
Okay.
it goes like this. So you know
Cool.
you can also use my base as a reminder for what these cards aren't, if it matters, right?
And then my guys will be defeated, and this guy just goes back to base.
Yep. And now you can
Okay.
choose the next fight.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and do our yeah. Let's do this fight here. So this is my 6. So I've got 8, 9, 10 over here, tier of 7. All right.
Okay.
So and I'm gonna send this guy to promote, and I'll send the captain back to my base or the general.
hmm
Okay. All right. And I'll get my comically large metal token.
Yeah, they're not that big in the real game.
Okay.
Also, it's first to 10. I forgot to mention how you win. It's first to 10, and as you can see, these bases increase in value over time, right?
Hmm.
So we'll do the last one.
Okay. All
Um,
right. Let's put our zeros here.
I lose by 1. Sad. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I lose by 2 because you get your battle effect. But you also
Hmm.
have so there's 2 worker effects here. The order that officially happens in is biggest number to last. So first, War
Oh, okay.
Hero will get its effect. Then the zeros go. They tie. Mine goes first because I have the cube. So I'm going to send a
Okay.
card from my base to the upgrade zone. I'm going to send this 3 over, right?
Okay.
And
Cool.
then you can do your 0.
Okay. I'll do my hacker.
Yeah.
All right. and then I can also send one of my cards for winning the fight,
Yep.
right? So I go ahead and send my 0, all right?
Yep.
And
And
then I'll
then
get 1 in metal, and you'll catch fire. Poof.
these
All
Marines
right.
die, and then any remaining units go back to base. So he's
Yeah.
completed one round. Now we go to the upgrade phase. I have
Hmm.
these two cards to upgrade, and you have three to look. So I'm going to search this deck, and I'm going to look for my level 2 versions of each of these.
Hmm.
So here's my level 2 6, right? I reveal it to you.
Hmm.
I have a new lead effect, right?
It's the same as my level 2 6, right?
It
So
is, yeah.
okay.
And then this guy goes into the deck. And then this level 3, this 3 power becomes the level 2 3.
All
And
right.
this is my new effect. Now I can destroy weaker units, which is pretty good. So this card I might put on the battlefield. I might do tokens, right?
Hmm.
And then I put these cards in my hand, and this token passes, and you will do uh, a round.
All right. Cool. So then let's go for it. Um. So okay, okay, and you know what my units are, but I guess they'll be a surprise for all of our viewers at home.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so this is the general loop of the game. We will definitely play
Yeah.
another round to see some more units, but we can talk a little about like what it
Yeah.
feels like to
About
cancel a game.
yeah. I think this is what we wanted to talk about. What it's like. When when a project doesn't go the way that you want it to, right, or the way that you're expecting it to. And I mean, this is kind of an open secret with Kickstarter projects, right, and with crowdfunds in general. But you have a public goal that's like your minimum, but you really also have an internal target, which is what you hope that this is going to do. And it's really kind of your break even point, right? Your bottom goal is kind of your acceptable losses point, and your internal goal is what you like, what you're kind of like, now it's a net positive. Now I'm winning.
Yeah, now to do a business,
Yeah.
right?
Right. And so you set the goal for this project at 5,000. It's got 9 days left. It's got 153 backers. Um, if you ask me to, like to put money on whether this project would succeed or fail, I would put money on succeed. I think if you ran this project to the end, you would make the $5,000. You would get the last like 100 backers that you need, and you would fund this.
Mm.
Um, but you have an internal goal that is a bit higher than that. That's what you really hoped to make on this project. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So first of all, I do subscribe to that, but I will say also you can play a card while I'm talking. Right?
Okay.
I will say that my listed goal is a little more true than just like hey the numbers. For the 5,000, I can print this, right? Um, and then lose some money, right? Not catastrophic.
Right.
That being
And
said,
you'd have some games to left over that you'd then sell on your online store and in distribution or whatever, and you'd make a profit that way. But the project itself would not be profitable.
yeah, it has an echoing effect too. Like, like these people will get it, they'll play it, and maybe the next time it's a little stronger, right? Um, but yeah, I expected a little more. I did a little $20 Space Line 2 game, so then that way people can become more aware of the brand. Um, it's a little difficult when you just are making your own IPs because the awareness required is so much higher than like something that people know, right?
Mm,
So I wanted a $20 game, make 10K, let people aware of this, and then continue to make Space Line stuff that's cool.
mm,
So that was like a safe little bet, and that's also why I tried Pocketopia, um, because a small game is expected, right?
mm,
Um, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it's still underperformed, and based on like my mailing list and my previous fans, it's much lower than I expected, uh, which is unfortunate. Um, that being said, I'm not gonna like delete the game. I love this game. I actually think it's one of my best designs. Um,
mm.
but can I give it a stronger audience so one, people can play it, and two, it allows me to make more for the people that do like it. You know?
Yeah. So let's talk about that because, like, when you say, a project is is likely to fund, and I think we could both agree that it's likely to fund, at least at the 5,000 that you've set. So you could see this through, and you could take the $5,000 and you could make your prototype. Basically, you could do a short run, but you're opting not to do that. And what do you gain by not doing that? What do you gain by giving up that opportunity?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I could do a short run, but that just makes me sad as like a creator, right? Like I want to print 2,000 of these and give them homes. And I guess like that's a little conflicting, but like that is core to why I make games, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't want to make 20 games. I want to make 500, and I want people to enjoy them and talk about them, and I want to have
Mhm.
fans, and I want to have haters, and I want people to have an experience I created. So
Okay.
like short running it to me, like, and this is personal, so this is not like the business side, but to me it's like, man, I feel like I'm whiffing and move on to the next one, which I understand sometimes needs to happen in business, but I don't want to. And I can be talked out of that, but like
I,
that's what I feel emotionally, right?
I think that's a fair side. I think the other thing that you could gather from it is that if it didn't succeed in this format, then maybe there is an opportunity to step back and change something about the product before you go to another release. Right? Like, we don't just have to take this as is and go straight to Kickstarter. We could say, oh well, it didn't catch on BackerKit. Maybe some of that's the platform, maybe some of that's the product. Maybe we can rethink it or rethink the way that we're presenting it, or do some other additional work on the game in order to address those issues.
Yeah,
So, if you just push the product through as it is, you would kind of be committed to this form, and canceling the project and rethinking gives you a chance to also rethink the form of the project.
yeah. So there's a couple of things I was thinking about regarding the feedback I received during this campaign. Um, so I'll talk. I'm not gonna not talk about BackerKit. I think it's easy to like quote blame them. They're a growing platform. I'm not gonna. I'm just putting that to the side, and I'm gonna evaluate what I can control. Right. Um,
Well,
things that
yeah. Let me ask
you.
you one thing before about Pocketopia, like before we move
Yeah.
on that, because I think there's clearly some projects that have succeeded on Pocketopia, um, but not the vast majority. And I think that if you told me, like, hey, we're gonna launch our game, and the big draw of this is that like 60 other creators are gonna launch their game at the same day, um, you know, like that's maybe not super compelling, because a lot of Kickstarters, you really want to not launch on the same day as other big projects, unless you're the biggest project in the room, and then everybody's going to feed into you. So you kind of go into one winner in that sort of scenario. But
I do think I see a little bit of that. The projects that popped off, and then there's a dramatic drop on income and like
yeah,
like the
do you
fourth
think?
project.
Like I say, do you think the projects that succeeded ate all of the marketing that the platform was providing?
Maybe. I mean, that might be part of it. I also think that like, hey,
Did you get filtered?
I, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. It's one of those things where like I think my game is small enough that if I did get filtered, I could have powered through. So there might be other things. But
Hmm.
if I was also on like, just like Kickstarter, would have I made that goal? I see no
Hmm.
reason why not. You know what I mean? I can see some of those numbers, like the amount of people that visited the page and the bounce off point is way higher than normal. And I do think
Uh-huh.
that that's creating a new account. And also people asking me in the comments, what's a backer kit? It's like an educational thing. And that's why they're doing
Hmm.
this, right? They want to bring awareness to their campaign. And as a
Yeah.
result, there are gifts. Like if you back more than one project, you get things from BackerKit. They give you product, which is really cool.
If
Um,
if both the projects succeed, right? Like, I don't think you're not going to have to do the crossovers with the other projects if you cancel this project,
that's one thing that's
right?
lost. But if you just back X projects, they just give you things.
Hmm.
So there's an
Interesting.
additional prize on
Yeah.
top of that.
Okay. Yeah, GameFound sent me a coffee mug after after Bullet Cubed.
Oh, really? That's cool.
That it's cooler than what Kickstarter sent me, which was nothing. But um, I was kind of like, okay, sure, you know. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess you mean like as backer. If you back so many things, you get stuff, right? Not you running the project get stuff.
Yeah. And then the
Okay.
creators are also stacked. So my two partners, if you backed their game as well, you get some alternate art promos. I'll go ahead. That's your turn, by the way. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I wanted to try
you,
and
Soul Read Me.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking I was gonna do that. I was gonna hack your zero over here.
Let's take a look.
No. Okay, well,
You still
seen
got
it.
valuable information. My friend is
Yeah.
so good at that it scares me from ever using lead effects, right?
Hmm.
And then I'd be like, "How did you know?" And then he'll give me a Yu-Gi-Oh tier explanation how my exact play
Yeah.
revealed exactly what it was, right? So,
I see.
um,
Yeah.
okay,
But yeah, so we were talking about yeah the like the platform itself may be a point of deflection, um, and also the moment of using the platform may be a point of deflection as well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think like if you'd run this on BackerKit, I guess my point is if you'd run this on BackerKit and not participated in Pocketopia, do you think it would have done better or worse,
Probably the same,
or
to be
just
honest.
about the same? Probably the same.
I think it would have been the same. Actually, I would say probably even a little better. But I do think that if I ran it on Kickstarter, it would definitely be better. Um,
Mm, okay.
but I have an existing audience. It's hard to say. It's hard to switch
Yeah.
rails. I'll have to say BackerKit's backend is so much better than Kickstarter's. It makes me slightly sad that they have a smaller audience, right?
Mhm.
It's so much better, and I hope that prompts Kickstarter to step up their game. So I was very happy with the tools, by the way, like really happy. Um, but yeah, here we are. You know, it didn't go through. But I do want to talk about some other non-Poketopia stuff. Um, um, Things that I think that were rough cases. So the cool thing about this game that's not a Space Line 1 is the promotion thing and the tech tree thing. Uh, the Leon
Mhm.
Army has a little bit of that, but it's a little different. Um, and I don't feel like I reflected that in the way I talked about the game in an
Mhm.
attempt to keep it as simple and pocket sized as possible, right?
Yeah.
So like, I didn't want to talk about the sweaty mechanic. I went with like, hey, here's a portable dueling game. You should get it. When
Mhm.
it just makes it feel like there's some sauce missing, right?
Yeah.
The tech tree thing is the cool thing, and a feature just not
Mhm.
reflected in this build is like being able to branch your units, like turning your five into a tank instead of the mech, because that answers what you're doing, so you can make like those kind of strategic choices, right?
Mhm.
I think that if I went into it um, from that perspective on Kickstarter, it fundamentally would have affected the tech tree
Mhm.
thing,
Okay.
considering
So
target audience.
you think that the there's just a different audience on here, and that the Kickstarter audience is more receptive to a discussion of the mechanics of the game as opposed to the more kind of, I guess I'll say, product focused model that you've got here, which is like here's the stuff, come buy it, right?
Yeah, it affected me.
Uh,
I mean, I don't know if it had to affect me, but it did, right? That
mhm.
affected my.
Did you Yeah. Did you rush the game at all to be part of the Pocketopia event? Like, were you planning to do this, or was it kind of sudden that you said, "Oh, we'll do this thing"?
I wouldn't call it rushed. The game design was largely locked and done. But what I did quote rush was just get the artist to finish the art a little sooner. Like, hey,
Okay.
the timeline moved up, but like the logos and a lot of this was
But yeah,
there.
you went to market earlier than you would have gone if you were on your own schedule.
Yeah, the game is nearly identical with the exception of a few lead effects and removing the text splitting stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like,
This.
but what like this has been sitting in a can for a while. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
so
I think a lot of people at who may be watching it like don't really understand. Like, it takes a lot of work to build a project page. Like, it's like a whole nother month of work for a lot of these, and you've got reviews and stuff on here, so like this has been around, and you've been doing rounds with it. Like, a lot of work goes into building this page. So
All right, let's get this hacker read. Well, actually, I don't have a read yet, but let's flip this one. Shoot. Ah, I
Is
wasted
this
a card over there.
the back line?
Yeah.
Good, good. All right, working as intended. Um, all right, let's do this. Okay,
All right. It is time to, I think, get crushed. So, you can choose the first lane.
okay. I'll do this lane, the middle lane first. Okay. Oh,
All right. So, battle effects top to bottom. I have a 3, right? And he says destroy a unit with 0 or 3 strength. So I'm gonna
oh wait.
actually just
Okay.
kill
Yeah.
this hidden
So
marine there. When a
okay,
unit's
so you kill my
destroyed,
marine.
they go to
Hmm.
base face down.
Okay.
Cannot be upgraded.
Okay. Cool. And so I now have 6, 7, 8, and you have 8,
All right.
and so we're tied.
So
So
tie happens. Fire catches for both of us,
okay.
and then no one gets a promotion.
No one gets a promotion. Does anybody get a medal?
No one gets a medal. I mean, those
Okay.
medals were effectively stacked for next time, right?
All right. Cool.
By the fire going up. As a matter of fact, that lane is worth more medals because we tied, right?
Right. Okay.
Um, okay. Now, let's. Well, you get to choose the next one.
No, I chose the first one. You
Okay.
choose the next
Let's take my easy win here. My
one.
deep
Okay.
overcommit. 10-0.
All right.
I'll get 2 medals, and you can use your worker effect.
All right. I'll go ahead and get a level 3 hacker.
Oh no.
All right.
I'll send my 6 over here,
And that, yeah. Okay.
and then the last one we got is
Okay. So, all right. Cool. So in this case, I'll win this one for how many? 2 medals?
yep.
Well, first, so the battle effects happen, right? Um, I get another +1 strength. You can up do the robot upgrade.
I'm going to change my 1, and then you win. So now this goes up to 3. You get 2 medals.
Okay. Cool. All right. So I'll put back a 1, take a 3, and then let's see. Okay, and that went up, and then um, let's see. What do I want to upgrade? I think I'll do. Yeah, I think I'll do my number 3 to upgrade. Okay. Cool. All right.
All right.
So that's that. So we'll do those upgrades.
All right. So now you have upgrade advantage on me for sure, right? And something to note is, yes, that is more power, but because of cards like the hacker, I can kind of like lever the value of guessing your card with the hacker goes up if I start falling
Right.
behind. Uh,
Hmm.
so that's something to consider. You're more likely to do the risky play because of uh, falling behind.
Hmm.
But
Oops.
when I get the read, it destroys your unit. It just removes up to 6 power, which is insane. So
I
it's a
grabbed
big
the
reward.
wrong upgrade card here.
All right. So yeah, you have it's 3 to 4, but this next round is going to be worth a lot more medals. The average game length is 4 rounds. Sometimes people get crushed at 3. Sometimes it goes late. It's 5. Once ever, it's gone to 6 rounds. So, right?
Must have had a lot of ties in a game like that.
Yeah, it's because the soul reads and the ties.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Cool.
so
Cool.
I'll kick it off this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna dictate it with some tempo with this revealing the 6. Right.
All
uh,
right.
my other units cannot be destroyed here, and the weakest unit here is destroyed enemy
Okay.
during battle.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I will. Let's see. And the highest number goes first, right? So if I were to play something like my robot that generates marine tokens, you would destroy it before it got to activate.
That's right. And since it's a 0, it's
Well,
guaranteed death against this guy.
yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's see here. And so this is yeah, it's gonna destroy the weakest unit here. Okay. Cool. So okay. What do I do then? I think I will. go ahead and I'll just lead here like this and get, two um, fodder tokens for him to destroy. And these are units too, right? So
Yeah,
the weakest unit will be a 1 now.
correct. Unless there's
Okay.
reasons, but yes.
Okay. Cool.
Um, we're going to play a mystery card.
Okay.
Let me ask what you think. Other things I want to change. Yes, I want to bolster the tech tree thing and the way it's marketed and talked about, and the cool thing that why you would want this game to appeal a little
hmm
more to the gamer core. How do you feel about the name of the game?
So I am a very strong opponent of naming a board game with a numeral, right? Like whatever two, like no, don't. Um, Pixel Tactics 2 sold half as much as Pixel Tactics 1, really even less. Pixel Tactics 3 sold half as much as 2, and then 4 sold half as much as 3, and then 5 sold half as much as 4. And when you get down to that, you get looking at pretty small numbers.
Mm.
Um, I would expect Space Lion 2 to be half as popular as Space Lion, if not less. What I would, consider is like call the game like Leon Strife, a Space Lion, like adventure or Space Lion game, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Space Lion is your universe, not your world, right? So that'd be my take on it, and I think we can see that in a lot of games, like, what do I say, like Yomi 2, for example. Um, did a lot less than Yomi, or than you would have expected for it being a Yomi title. Same for Puzzle Strike 2. And I think like maybe me and you and Sir Lin are the only ones that would even consider putting a 2 in the title of a game. There must be a couple other 2s somewhere down the line, right? I mean, there's Heroes of Might and Magic 3, but I think everybody who backs that knows that that's the base game and not, a sequential title.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's different than video games in here. It is your
Yeah.
move, but I think it's more of a like a hey, I want to make sure that the IP setting of all these games is clear, and maybe that took too much power, right? Um,
hmm
I want people to say yes, I like space line games, and when they hear that, they know it's some sort of lane dueler with space units, right? Even though it might be
hmm
different, right? It's some sort of
Yeah.
control point game. Imagine that down the line, I made a big minis game. There would probably be control points, right? Um,
Yeah. So the kind of guiding theme of Space Lion as a universe is this like lane dueler
yeah.
um,
Um,
aesthetic.
Yeah, I
hmm
also think that like now that I've explored more, it probably is the tech tree thing is, I think should be baked into the core of what you expect from Spaceland games.
hmm
But that's
One,
only a recent discovery, right?
yeah. One thing that I'll say too as I look at this. Well, first of all, let's talk about player count because this is a two-player game,
Mm-hmm.
right? And two-player games are the hardest kind of game to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think this is just kind of a known thing. Like if you made this game, if this was a solo only game, it'd probably perform better than if it was a strictly two-player game.
Mm-hmm.
Just from my experience. And even if I have to own two copies to play four-player, like having a four-player mode, and having a one-player mode would probably give you you know, a lot more engagement just for people saying like, "Oh, I know I can get this to the table."
Yeah, so
Uh,
that definitely a couple things. One, that was influenced definitely by like the. Let me take a step back. No, it wasn't. Um, the reason I did a two-player version is
mhm.
because when we play this mirror match, the value of things becomes very clear, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I understand what the the strength of a five is and how it's different than a six. Actually, massively different, right? And we can see that while we're playing. One of the criticisms of Space Lion 1 is because you're playing an asymmetrical army, you kind of don't know. And it gets even more nuts with, uh, you know, um, it being five players, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I like having played the original Space Lion, and playing this. This is a much more comfortable way to learn the game. for
Yeah.
sure.
So
And it's a much like cleaner way to learn the game too, I think.
yeah, in this mirror match setting, and the idea was like, yes, if this is successful, I'll make another army, and that one will have multiplayer rules, and the multiplayer rules will be very similar to Spaceline One, where you fight your neighbors in the big free for all in the middle. It's really just a matter of like setting up these lanes, right?
Hmm.
There is something to say about, hey, does this kit have anything to deal with multiplayer? The answer is no. But with the tech tree thing, I could just add it, right? And now
Does
you
it
can tech
does
in
it
different ways
need
based
more?
on. Hmm?
But does it need more to deal with multiplayer?
It doesn't need it, but I think there'll be an expectation of like interaction points when you have this big multiplayer battle, right?
Hmm. Okay.
Like it's not needed, but it's you're gonna want to do the cool thing and like send a missile across the world, right?
Sure.
Um, um, so there's a lot of space to basically tailor. How do I do that? Let me see what my hand is here. Oh, real quick, your guy has move, which is an obnoxious ability. He can choose well to move, right? So it's a really good option to select. That will influence my play.
All right. Let's do. Um,
So yeah, let's want. You're not the first person to mention the two thing. I think that I'm probably going to change the name of the game and figure out a way to keep the Spaceline branding. But you know, so name change, pushing on the tech tree thing, are the
mhm.
two critical changes I want to make. I think other than that, this will remain. Well, the game you're seeing here is largely what we'll get later. Um,
Yeah,
is it my
I
play?
understand. I've got one card left. You got one card left, and you play first. So it's your play. Sorry. Yeah. So like, yeah, the name change I think is could make this stronger.
Is
The
this a 6?
do you reveal it? Don't you
Yes.
reveal it and check? Okay. No.
Oh, come on.
All
Okay, is
right.
my guy good? That would have given me a whole free win. It's either
Yeah.
5 or 6,
Uh,
right?
all right. Well, let's just go ahead and do this.
Ah, I see.
All right. See what happens. Okay. So all
Uh,
right. What do we got? You resolve first.
all right, I'll just take my. No, actually, yeah, I'll take my L over here first.
Okay. So that's 3 medals for me.
All right, and then this goes up to. No, no, it goes up to. That's your first win there. You get 1 medal.
Oh, that was my first. Whoops. It's worth 3 medals for you. Like, this
Yeah,
was the place that I couldn't afford to lose.
yeah, that's why you had it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I can't upgrade my hacker anymore, so I guess I'm gonna send my tank over here to upgrade.
Yeah, so if I got that read, then that would have cost you 3 medals. I probably
Yep.
could have cost you the whole game, right?
Yeah. So yeah, let's do the middle row then. So I get to move my marine. Okay.
Uh,
So you got your captain. So and you get to destroy my lowest guy.
so first, yeah, lowest guy that takes out a Marine token, right?
Yep.
And
Oh.
then Trey, I'll destroy the Marine before he gets to move.
Okay. All right. Well done. Okay. Cool. So my general, I get nothing out of him. Okay.
All right, I win by
All right. So
2, and
7.
I
You got it.
will.
And it's 2 points or 3 points for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
and then
And then
send this guy over here.
okay. And all right. And then we're on the last area. Okay. All right. Cool.
Now that's
So
this is gonna be a fun one. Bigger
yeah.
number first. I have the cube. So first, my 4. I don't get it.
All right. All
Your
right. And my
4.
4, I don't either because we're even.
Uh,
Um,
now your 3.
Now my 3, I'll go ahead and destroy your 0.
Pain. And then your 0, which you get to resolve.
Yep. So let's get captain. Okay. And then now we're at 7 to 9. So you're gonna win this location.
So I only get 1 medal because I only won there once.
Hmm.
But it increases, and I will send this to the promote zone.
Okay. Cool. So
All right.
I'm gonna
So
upgrade these two guys.
this will be the last round we play. Um, but I think we'll finish our discussion about relaunching.
Yeah.
But just last bit about the game. It's 7 to 5. Um, this is still anyone's game, especially with this escalation here. As you can see, usually round four is final. Um, but
Yeah, if I win any two locations, I can pull this out as long as I don't lose. Like, well, I'd like to win these two, or no, I'd like to win. Let's see, yeah, this one escalated, right? So this should have gone up for me.
oh, actually, I moved it already, so it's two.
Oh, you did. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so
So
you
the
have two
ones that
twos.
I need to defend this one,
Yeah,
and and you need to defend these two,
you actually have an
basically.
advantage on possible metal gain, right?
Yeah.
So it escalates, and then where that's going to change on where we play our cards and yada yada. Sometimes you give one up in
Mhm.
a secret way, right? But yeah, that's Space Line 2, Leon Strife. Um,
Mhm.
no longer on backer kit, but you will see it in the
Oh,
future. Please
did
give
you
us a.
push the button?
Not yet. I was gonna do it like. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna open a page. We'll do it on stream. Give me a minute here.
Okay.
But while I'm getting that ready, um, any thoughts about what how long you think I should wait to relaunch? Um, we
Well,
talked about that the product will change, but like other
I would
key
I would
experiences.
say I'd say you have to evaluate, right? Like you evaluate what you're going to change about this, like the way that you're launching, the way you're launching it, or the game itself, what you're going to change, and then as quickly, like if as quickly as you're able to make those changes, I would relaunch because I believe that the 150 people that are on BackerKit now, if you said like, "Hey, we're moving the project to Kickstarter next week and it's going to go live there," I think that they would follow you there. Um, you know, especially after you talk about like why you made the decision and and what drove that. Because I mean, these people that have committed to support you, right? And I think they're all people that are interested in your success as much as in getting a copy of the game.
Mhm.
So I think that you could transfer those. The longer you wait, the harder it would be to transfer everybody, right? So that's what I would say is the thing, and I think so. I'd say go as soon as quickly as you could. One thing I did want to point out with the project that you have here too is that you know like we talk about the it having this sort of 80s sci-fi anime experience, you know, but it doesn't feel to me like the art is leading. It feels to me like the cards are leading, the product is leading.
Mhm.
And that's why I say this feels more like a product focused Kickstarter, or product focused page, and not an art focused page.
Mhm.
Like I have to scroll all the way down to what's in the box before I see my first full piece of art. And I kind of want to be seeing like full pieces of art, up here at the header, like before you tell me the title, you know, give me like the Star Wars scroll and put some art on the side and tell me why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
If this is a game that's led by its theme, then that's where I'd expect it to start. I expect you to theme to be the first thing. But what I'm seeing is I see the box and I see the cards laid on the table. You're leading with this is a game, this is a product. The first thing I see is the product box. So that's where I think like you could make some improvement to, if you want to pitch it on the basis, if you're pitching the game on the basis of its thematics, and its art style, I would expect you to lead with that more heavily.
Yeah, that's a good point. Make some more cool pieces of art and push some lore stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I'm looking through this and I can't find the cancel button. And I'm
Oh,
like, do I need to like email BackerKit? Really? Um,
that that's
that's
that's wild.
um, yeah. I might not be able to cancel this on stream. Um,
Okay.
that is
But the
wild, right?
spirit is there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I am shutting it down. Unless I open the page right now and we made 10K, I'm shutting it down.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I cannot cancel it on stream. I will email them and then get it canceled. Um, but we'll be back. And thank you for checking out our final playthrough. And
Yeah.
yeah, support me
Hey
later.
Chris, I think we like, this is just. I mean, this is a thing that happens when you publish works, right? Like
Mm,
sometimes things don't catch as well as as you expect, and that's something that every creative deals with in their journey.
mm,
And I think that that's it's it's a bitter taste,
mm,
right?
mm,
But it's not the end of anything, and it's you know if anything, like you're kind of dodging a bullet, right? Like if carrying a game that is carrying a project that is not like fulfilling your goals is like it's expensive and it takes a lot of time and it's painful at the end. And I've carried a lot of projects that I should have let fail
mm.
in my time, and I definitely like I think I applaud you taking the harder path. Because like we said, we both know that you could fund this game in the last 9 days and you could produce it. But the fact that it's not meeting your goals and you're ready to you know to make that tougher decision
Yeah,
to choose failure is I think takes a lot more courage than to push through in the face of of that difficulty, which sounds kind of strange, right? It's not what you normally hear in these situations.
yeah.
But I think that in business especially, like you have to be ready to take the long view of these things, and it's really tough to admit that.
Yeah.
So so I think anyway, I'll be here to support you in the future, and I'm sure that others listening will be as well. And I don't think that I don't think that you lose anything in anybody's eyes by admitting that it didn't do what you wanted.
Thank you. Um, and I also think that we have a chance to really polish it up, get a bigger audience, and show people this cool game, right? So,
Yeah. So success will come, and you know maybe we'll be here for you when it does.
yeah. All right, man. It is the top of the hour. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much for being on the stream, man.
Thanks for having me, and I really appreciate getting a chance to talk with you and to play the game again. It's as good as it was at Gamma. It's a great game, and I'll look forward to getting my copy on Kickstarter.